Welcome everybody to our 7th Yoga to Go at CATV. We have 3 different levels of practitioners here with us, as well as a 4-legged bonus feature who may wander in and out of the practice. So let's everybody inhale for the vibration of Om. And thinking of those folks in Nepal, let's do one round of Loka Samasta, followed by 3 Shantis and Hari Om. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. For the viewers at home, the Loka prayer, may the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. May all of our thoughts, words, and actions contribute to that peace and freedom for all beings. Shanti is peace, 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 peace. Hari Om. Victory to that remover of difficulties that lives within us all. Taking this moment to create an intention for the practice, an offering, and drawing the palms to prayer at heart center. On the inhalation, sweeping the arms wide and offering it up to that which you hold higher. And exhaling grace, Om to the heart. And finding your way onto your hands and knees. Curling the toes under, pressing back to down dog, and pedaling it out. Bending one knee and then the other. So our 4th practitioner today, Yogi Raj, who is wandering in and out of camera, making sure that we are all paying attention to where we are. Although he's attended many yoga practices, he rarely stays on the mat. And settling in to down dog for 10 breaths. Firmly grounded through the base of the forefinger. Drawing the shoulder blades down the back and away from the spine. And with the quadriceps engaged, opening the hamstrings, heels, settling towards the mat. So pressing down through the base of the forefingers, lifted through the center of the palms. Exhaling to the knees and to extended child's pose. And inhaling back to all fours. Inhale, lifting the right arm and left leg. So there's an internal spiral to the left thigh, the toes pointing down, hips even. The breath remaining even. Inhale to exhale, never straining in this pose or the practice. To a brief flow. Exhaling, hand to navel, knee to nose, and inhale, extend it. Twice more with the breath. Exhale, navel to spine. Inhale, extend it. One more time. This final extension, bending into the left knee, right hand to left ankle, gazing over the right shoulder. Inhale, extended for 2 breaths. Exhale, releasing to the mat. Inhale, lifting the left leg and the arm. Extending from heel to fingertip. Finding that stillness in both mind and body. And the next exhale, knee to nose, hand to navel, and inhale, expand it. Twice more with the breath. This final extension, bending into the right knee, left hand to right ankle, and gazing over the left shoulder. Inhale, extended for 2 breaths. Exhale, releasing to the mat, 2 clockwise hip circles. As the circles deepen, perhaps the breath as well. And slowly releasing it in the opposite direction. Perhaps using the power of visualization in the mind's eye, tracing the circle, the base of the spine. Coming back to center, curling the toes under and pressing back to down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, lifting the right leg extended. Inhaling forward to low lunge, palms remaining to the mat. Toes aligned with the fingertips. On the exhalation, drawing the right leg straight to your capacity. If you're at home and have blocks are often useful for finding that full length through the right leg. And as you draw the navel to spine, extending out through the top of the head, perhaps on the exhalation, softening a bit more into the opening. To a brief cat-cow. Inhale, knee over ankle, gaze outward. And exhale, lengthening. And twice more. This next time forward, rising to high lunge. With the right toes relaxed, extending out through the left heel. Softening at the brow, around the corners of the lips. Exhaling, palms to the mat and the right leg back to plank pose. And slowly through the flow to chaturanga, to up dog. And curling the toes under, pressing back to down dog. Inhale, lifting the left leg extended. Continuing to press out through the left heel. Inhale forward to low lunge. And on the exhale, drawing the left leg straight, chin to shin, and navel to spine. Perhaps slightly moving the hips to the right or left, deepening that opening. There should be no discomfort at the hamstring attachments. Into a brief flow, inhale, knee over ankle, gazing outward. Exhale, lengthening. And this third time forward, rising to high lunge. As you press down through the inside of the ball of the left foot, finding that gentle lift through the left arch, the toes remaining relaxed. Deepening the pose, the two knees in opposing directions. Exhalation, the palms to the mat, left leg back to plank pose. Into Chaturanga, body suspended by palms and toes, simplified to the knees, out to the tops of the feet to up dog. And curling the toes under, pressing back to down dog. Taking 5 full breaths in down dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhaling to the knees to extended child's pose for a few full breaths. And walking the hands over to the right side, lengthening long from left hip to fingertip. And gently back to center. Walking the hands over to the left side. The focus of the in-breath to that extension through the whole right side body. Walking the hands back to center, sitting up on the heels. If you're at home and have a block, you're welcome to do that. To eagle arms, the right arm over the left, interlacing once or twice, lifting the forearms and the gaze up to expand through the chest, upper back. No discomfort in the low spine. To the stillness for one more full breath. And on the exhalation, rounding to vertical cat, chin to chest, elbows to navel, navel to spine for 3 breaths. And on the next inhalation, lifting the torso, stepping the left foot out as in low lunge. So the feet still hip-width apart, left foot in front of the left hip. The hips moving forward, stretching the front of the right quadricep, and the forearms lifted to your capacity without discomfort. And for an arm variation, unlacing the arms, hooking the thumbs, so the gaze lifted. Focus still the upper back and chest as you expand. Hips forward with no discomfort in the right knee. On the exhalation for a twist, right palm to the mat in line with the left arch. Inhale, lifted with the left arm, and the right knee grounded or lifted. The weight even through the left foot from inside to outside, either with awareness or a physical adjustment. Combining the next inhalation as you press off with the right toes to crane pose. And taking a few full breaths in crane pose, the gaze established perhaps on the floor if you're slightly unsteady, maybe to the wall or beyond. In a smooth, fluid motion, exhaling straight through to Utkatasana or chair pose. Knees, hips bent, arms extended, gazing up between the palms. And shoulder blades down the back. And we'll take 5 more full breaths here. The periphery of the feet, grounded, lifted through the center, toes relaxed. The facial muscles relax. Exhale, folding, interlacing. Maybe hands to palm to palm. And as you inhale, releasing the hands, the left leg back to high lunge. A few full breaths. Exhaling the palms to the mat, right leg back to plank pose, to Chaturanga, to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, and curling the toes under to Adho Mukha Svanasana. For 5 breaths. Exhaling to the knees to extended child's pose for 2 breaths. Inhaling to sit up on the heels, to eagle arms on the other side, so left arm over the right once or twice. If you're at home and the hands don't touch, it's more important the elbows remain crossed, perhaps using a strap or a tie. So inhaling lifted, the gaze, the elbows expanding through the upper chest and back. And the exhalation, drawing it to the navel for a vertical cat. Attention to the subtle cat-cow rising from the breath. And the next inhalation, stepping the right foot out as you rise to the low lunge variation. The ankle under the knee, hips gently forward, open through the left quadricep and psoas. Elbows, gaze lifted for a comfortable stretch, no impingement. And the right toes relax. To the arm variation, unraveling the arms, hooked thumbs, perhaps deepening the back bend. exhalation, left palm to the mat for the twist. Left palm in line with the right arch. Inhale, lifted through the right arm, the left knee grounded or lifted. The way even through that right foot from inside to outside, not compromising the integrity, safety of the knee. Combining the next inhalation to pressing off with the left toes, rising through to crane pose. And with grace to Utkatasana or chair pose. Your head and neck fine with it, gazing up between the palms. Exhale, folding, interlacing. Inhale, releasing, and right leg back to high lunge. Transition smooth by the arms extending and offsetting, the leg coming back. And the next exhalation, palms to the mat, left leg back to plank pose. For a few more breaths. And you extend out through the heels, a subtle engagement of the core muscles. Exhaling to knees, chest, and chin, hips lifted, elbows into the body. Hips only a few inches above the mat. And releasing tops of the feet, hips to the mat for low cobra or Bhujangasana. As you gently ground the tops of the feet, front of the thighs into the mat, the upper body light, buoyant. And curling the toes under, pressing back to down dog. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. Exhaling to the knees, to extended child's pose. With each breath, the body sinking more deeply into the thighs, tension falling away from the shoulders. Inhaling to all fours. Palms under the shoulders, knees and feet hip-width apart for simple cat-cow. And the exhalation, rounded through the spine, chin to chest. And on the inhalation, releasing the belly earthward, gaze outward. Awareness to the movement of each vertebra. Each inhale full as you expand out through the top of the chest. Each exhalation completes the navel to spine without strain. The next time to cow pose, curling the toes under and pressing back to down dog. Inhale, lifting the right leg extended. Pressing out through the right heel, that inward spiral to the right thigh, hips even. Exhaling, knee to nose, shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, expand. Inhale, forward and rising to high lunge. Pressing off, left foot to right, folding, interlacing. And inhaling, bending the knees out to Utkatasana or chair pose. Inhaling, right knee lifted to crane pose. And crossing the right leg over left for Krishna Asana. So opposite limbs, right leg across, left arm lifted. Maybe the gaze up to the left elbow or palm. As you press through the ball of the right foot, finding a slightly deeper lift extension through the left side. Through the transition, exhaling top arm across the face, inhaling out to crane pose. Bending into the left knee to warrior three briefly. Reaching with the right toes, arms extended to high lunge. Exhaling, palms to the mat. Left leg back to plank pose. And through the flow to Chaturanga, to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, curling the toes under to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, lifting the left leg extended. Out through the left heel, maintaining that inward spiral to the left thigh. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, expand. Inhale, forward and rising to high lunge. And pressing off with the right foot to left, folding, interlacing. Inhale to Utkatasana, chair pose. Pressing through the feet, keeping it out of the back. Inhale, left knee lifted to crane. And crossing the left leg over right, the right arm lifted, the right heel pointing, the left heel pointing to the right. As you press through the ball of the left foot, extending a bit more deeply up through that stretch on the right side. Transition, exhale, top arm down and around, inhaling to crane pose. As you prepare for warrior three, bending into the right knee, extending the left leg, both legs becoming straight, right quadricep engaged, reaching with the arms lifted, left toes back to high lunge. Exhaling, palms to the mat, right leg back to plank pose, and through the flow. Walking the feet to the hands to a half forward fold or Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to fold palms to the mat, warrior variation. Maybe taking the opposite elbows or stepping firmly on the palms, toes to wrist crease. If the toes to the wrist crease, wiggling the toes for a beautiful wrist massage. Slowly releasing the palms from under the feet, if that's your variation. Moving the feet to the outside of the mat, turning the toes out as you settle into Malasana or squat. So with the palms pressing together, elbows to the inner thighs or knees, and the legs engaged. So as you press through the feet, finding a more upright spine. Bring the palms to the mat, stepping or jumping back to plank pose. And we'll take a few breaths here. And slowly to knees, chest and chin, elbows in. Releasing hips, tops of the feet to the mat for low cobra. And curling the toes under, pressing back to down dog. Inhale, lifting the right leg extended. Exhale, crossing the heart to pause at the left elbow. And inhale, stacking the hips, bending the right knee, right foot over the left side, shoulders square. As you lift the right knee a bit higher, up and back, finding a gentle stretch through the hip. And inhaling forward and rising to high lunge. Exhale, grounding the left heel, rotating to warrior two briefly. Inhale to reverse triangle. Exhale, triangle prep. Inhale, reaching towards the front of the room, extended and settling into Trikonasana. If you're at home, perhaps gazing up to the left palm, if the head and neck fine with that. Otherwise, a downward gaze is acceptable. Inhaling to warrior two, pressing through the feet, right knee bent. To high lunge, left heel, arms lifted. Pressing off, left foot to right, folding, interlacing. Inhale, hook thumbs, knees bent deeply as you press through the feet to rise like a wave. And exhale, folding, interlacing. Inhaling, left leg back to high lunge. Exhaling, palms to the mat, right leg back to plank pose. And to chaturanga, to up dog. Curling the toes under, pressing back to down dog. Inhale, lifting the left leg extended. Exhale, crossing the heart to pause at the right elbow. Inhale, stacking the hips, left knee bent over the right side. The right quadriceps still engaged. Center of the palms lifted. In breath equal to out breath or Samavriti. Inhaling forward and rising to high lunge. Exhale, grounding the right heel, rotating to warrior two. Inhaling to reverse triangle, extending long from the big left toe to middle left finger. Exhaling triangle prep. Inhale, extend it. Exhalation into the depth of your pose without any pain. What a beautiful stretch. Inhaling to warrior two, to high lunge. Pressing off right toes to left, folding, interlacing. Inhale, knees bent deeply as you hook thumbs and ride the wave. Exhale, folding, interlacing. Inhaling, right leg back to high lunge. Exhaling, palms to the mat, left leg back to plank pose and through the flow. And we'll take 5 restorative breaths in down dog. Similar extension through the base of the spine as from cow, which we practiced earlier in the sequence. Exhaling to the knees and to extended child's pose. Let's bring it to full child's pose, backs of the hands to the bottoms of the feet. Maybe the third eye to the mat, adding a bit more length through the neck. The third eye slightly above the nose, between the eyebrows versus the hairline. And on the inhalation, coming out to the forearms for dolphin variation. You're welcome to bring it into another inversion if you prefer. Curling the toes under, legs straight, hips lifted, and walking the feet slightly towards the elbows. Let the head and neck relax, gazing towards the ankles. Either into the stillness or added challenge to dolphin push-ups. Dolphin push-ups, exhaling, nose and chin out beyond the hands, almost to the mat. And inhale, lift it. For 3 more breaths. Next exhalation, knees wide, palms in prayer for a tricep stretch. Inhaling out onto the right forearm or palm for side plank or Vashisthasana. Stacking or staggering the feet. Inhale, extending from right elbow to left fingertip, hips ideally lifted up and off the mat. Into the stillness or the optional flow. The flow, exhale, top arm under the armpit, followed by the gaze, left hip higher, and inhale, extend it. So the exhale to rotate, the inhale to expand, and the next exhalation onto the left forearm or palm. Inhale, extending from left elbow to right fingertip, to your foot leg variation, to the stillness or the flow. If at any point in the practice you lose that connection with the breath, perhaps finding a comfortable restorative pose, typically extended child's pose, but whatever you are called to. The integration with the breath and movement, keeping in mind movement also occurring in the stillness. An integral part of the practice. The next exhalation, knees wide, palms in prayer to a tricep stretch. Exploring that razor's edge between effort and effortlessness. We find that place between duality, settling in to the stillness or oneness, that peace which we are. Inhaling out onto the belly, palms under the shoulders, feet or feet together or hip width apart. Or cobra pose, the forehead to the mat. Inhale, lengthening out and up through the head, neck, and shoulders. Although the palms not moving, that outward spiral through the palms, drawing the shoulder blades more deeply down the back. One more inhalation. And exhale, slowly releasing, almost to the mat, turning the head to one side, arms alongside the body. Taking a few breaths. Your attention, your full focus to the gentle rise and fall of your belly on the mat. Preparing for half locust or Ardha Shalabhasana, the chin to the mat, the arms deeply under the body, thumbs meeting under the pelvis. The chin remaining to the mat. Inhale, extending out and up through the right leg. So the knee is straight, the left leg is soft, not engaged. As you find that full extension from right buttock to heel, invoking relaxation through the rest of the body. Exhale, releasing the right leg. Inhale, extending out and up through the left. Exhale, releasing the left leg. Head to one side for a few full breaths. Preparing for the full version, returning the chin to the mat. Maybe arms more deeply under the body. Curling the toes under. As you press the weight into the upper body, the toes, lifting both legs up and off the mat. Two more full breaths. And exhale, releasing the legs, the arms from under the body. And turning the head to one side. Bring the palms to the mat, pressing to come up onto your back, keeping the head towards the front of the room. Preparing for bridge pose, so bending the knees, heels to the buttocks. If you're inclined to full wheel, you're welcome to come to that. So coming back to that pelvic rotation from cat-cow. The exhalation, drawing the navel to the mat, tailbone lifted, then pressing through the feet, rolling up like a wave. With the hips lifted, interlacing the fingers, upper arms deeply under the back. Expanding through the upper chest, feet evenly weighted. Two more full breaths. Inhale, exhale, one. Inhale, exhale, two. Slowly releasing from full wheel, chin to chest as you lower. From bridge, tailbone to the mat last. And knees gently side to side. Releasing any tension from the lower back. Coming back to center, drawing the knees into the chest, wrapping the arms, head to the knees for a gentle belly squeeze for 3 breaths. As you release the head to the mat, taking the feet for happy baby pose. And gently rocking it side to side. And for the happiest vibration ever, letting your inner happy baby out as we putter our lips in glee. And slowly back to center, preparing for reclining eagle twist. Releasing the feet, right leg over left once or twice. Bending the left knee, left foot to mat. Hips to the right, knees to the left. Arms wide and gazing over the right shoulder. So by offsetting the hips first, we come to a straighter spine. The top leg more apt to be at 90. Both shoulders to the mat, perhaps making any subtle adjustments, allowing that to happen if it hasn't already. Deepening the attention within, following that full and deepening breath. Inhalation, slowly back to center, unraveling the legs, squaring the hips, and to the other side. Left leg over right once or twice, bending the right knee, foot to the mat in line with the spine, hips to the left, knees to the right, and gazing over the left shoulder. Inward to the full breath. Inhale, expanding to all points. Exhale, the whole body, mind releasing. And inhale, coming back to center, unraveling the legs, squaring the hips. Bring the knees into the chest, rocking it back and forth for a spinal massage. And rocking it slowly to face the front of the room. This is a continuation, really, of the happy baby pose, where we continue to let our inner child out. That peace, that smile, always present at the heart center. Let's prepare for a forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Sitting at the top of the sit bones, the legs long, feet together. Inhale, extending from the root to the top of the head and lifting the arms, keeping in mind forward folds originate from the pelvic rotation, not the low spine. And exhale, extend it, the heart towards the shins, not the chin. Maybe even inhale, coming up slightly, and allowing the breath, that extension. And on the exhale, perhaps a slightly deeper release into the pose. The release of yoga, not derived from willfulness, but through an attitude of surrender. Inhale, slowly rising, preparing for table. So bending the knees, fingers forward, middle fingers parallel, hands in line with the feet. As you inhale, pressing through the hands and feet, hips lifted, head as far back as is comfortable for 10 breaths. Maintaining that lift through both the center of the palms as well as the feet. And the next exhalation, slowly releasing. And if your body is calling for a remaining pose, either here or at home, now is the time. Otherwise, we'll take a bit to find a comfortable corpse pose. For Shavasana. Shavasana, or deep relaxation, just as important as all the previous poses. We integrate the benefits and allow their benefits to expand at the cellular level through our whole body. So the arms, legs long, palms slightly upturned. And we'll include a brief exercise. So lengthening through the fingers, the arms, the legs, stretching the face long, mouth open, tongue outward, stretching the whole body long, and releasing. Bringing the fingers into fists, squeezing both fists, squeezing the muscles in the arms, the legs, the buttocks, the facial muscles in towards the nose, tighter, tighter still, holding, and releasing. Turning your attention to where you began the practice, your created intention or offering. Integrating that intention, the heart-centered breath, the inhalation from heart center, expanding outward to the periphery of the skin, exhaling back to the center of light, combining intention, the breath awareness, center outward and back home again. Drawing your awareness back to your place, deepening the breath, taking your time to awaken the body, wiggling the fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. Inhaling, stretching the arms long overhead, bending the knees, and finding your way onto your right side for a few moments. An offering from the Golden Present by Swami Satchidananda. Who is hugging her now? Once a pretty young girl was stung by a scorpion. It happened on a mountaintop at evening time. To go to the clinic down below, you had to descend 1,000 steps. There were mostly monks and spiritual aspirants around, and everyone was trying to figure out what to do. The girl was lying on the ground crying, and her mother was also crying. A renunciate is not supposed to touch a girl, so the monks were planning to get a stretcher or something on which to move her. As they were planning, I said, "This is all foolishness." I grabbed her, put her on my shoulder, and ran down the hill to the clinic. The doctor immediately gave her an injection, after which she calmed down and fell asleep. But all the people around started gossiping. Look at that Swami. How could he carry a girl like that? Look at the way he hugged her. For 4 or 5 days, this was bubbling, and it slowly reached my Gurudev, Swami Shivanandaji. During his next talk, he looked at the sannyasis and said, Who is hugging the girl now, you or him? True, he carried her down the hill, but he put her down at the clinic. All of you are still carrying her. And in your own time, finding your way to a comfortable seat. Inhaling for a closing Om, 3 Shantis and Hari Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Thank you to you at home. Thank you all practitioners. Namaste. 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 Namaste, Yogi Ji.